Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Today we're going to take a look at the Canto Bight Police Speeder from Star Wars The Last Jedi. So let's head to that table and check it out. And taking a look at the packaging, this is of course from The Last Jedi line. And you get a nice look at the speeder on front and center on the packaging flying over Canto Bight. I like the artwork, it's looking pretty good. And then of course you do see the figure that's included through the window packaging. On the sides it's the same as the other vehicles that we've seen. One side promoting the force link capabilities of the vehicle. And on the other side, you got a still shot of the Canto Bight police officer. Probably just some generic guy, I'm assuming at this point. On the back side, you got a nice image of the toy and, of course, the included officer. And then you got a little image of the firing projectiles from this, a brief description about the Canto Bight police force. Of course, a big advertisement for Force Link, and then also some other figures that are available in the line. So getting it out of the packaging, of course, you got some assembling to do. It's pretty self-explanatory just by looking at the image on the box, but just in case you got any problems, of course, the instructions are included showing you what you need to do. Missile launchers snap in pretty easy at the bottom of the vehicle. This little centerpiece goes right on the post here, snaps right in, and then of course each little missile just snaps into there. And then snap the wings on. Just make sure that that red part is on the top of the vehicle. So now that it's all assembled, overall it's pretty cool looking, but I can't help see some design elements pulled from other vehicles in the universe. Obviously the first thing that comes to my mind is an X-Wing with the wings opened up, just that main body chopped off. That's kind of what I'm feeling the overall look of this being. As I look at this centerpiece in front of the seat, all I can see there really is just that battle droid speeder, the Stab Speeder from episode 1, and were they in 2? I don't remember if they were in 2. Anyways, kind of really what I'm seeing on that center element. Obviously the main body though, where the seat is, these little rudders or something off to the side, that's kind of unique there. So even though I do see some elements from the universe that we've seen before, it's still a pretty cool looking vehicle. Now this retails for $30, and I don't know really if this is a $30 vehicle. You do get some movement on some pieces and stuff, but still it just doesn't seem a lot to it to really make this worth 30 bucks. As I found, it's just kind of easier to get the vehicle off the turntable to go through specifics, but painting through the sides of the wings looks really nice. I like the blues, the light blue, the dark blue in there. Red at the top of the wing. I gotta say, I really do wish those were LED lights. You know, it looks like that's what they are on the box. I wish that was represented here. On this front section, you get a little more blue spread throughout there. A little bit of red painted in on the front of this area here. A little down here. And then lots of little bit of white painted in here and there on these rudder pieces here. And actually you can manually spin each of those around, but some white painted in there. The silver through here is painted in on the wings. And also you got some nice detailing in the sculpt of this area as well. And then on the back side of the vehicle, you got a little bit of white painted in there for the what looks like vents. And then you got some nice molding through what looks like the armrests of the vehicle. And then also on this center console, looks like you just got some buttons molded in there, sculpted in, whatever. And then this sticker is already pre-applied at the center of the console. And now with the vehicle, you do get some articulation. I don't know if it's meant to be, like if it does that in the movie, or it's because you assemble it, but these wings can snap around. This center console is able to come down and up. At the bottom of this console, looks like little, probably what are little weapons. Each one can kind of twist independently, and then also you can swing it around as one piece. And these footrests also move up and down. And then at the chair area, he's got these little handles here. Those can move up and down as well. And then as I mentioned, it does come with 2 missiles that shoot out. Just push the little button on the bottom of each missile, and there you go. Now sliding the figure onto the vehicle, it's not the best fit here. His hand openings are way too small. I'm having a very hard time at least getting his right hand around this handle. Just the angles don't line up, and plus I'm really having to peel it out and it's just not staying there. I did manage to get his other hand opened up, so that's at least on there, but same thing there. I really had to peel it open to wrap it around that handle. His feet don't reach the bottom of the footrest here. So even with all the articulation that the vehicle has to try and help things out, it's just still limited because there's not much happening on the figure itself to help the cause. And then, like I mentioned, having those hands that are just not that open. This one's kind of stretched out now, but it was about like, there you go. It's back in shape. So, yeah, I can't imagine kids are going to really be fighting as much as I did to get that in there. They're just going to probably just throw the figure in there and call it a day. Now, as far as the Force Link sounds with this, And then giving it a tap. Sliding the vehicle forward. And side to side gets you the same sounds. Now I imagine that might be accurate to what we're going to hear in the movie. Obviously, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say for certain. But I will say vehicle sound so far continues to be the highlight of the Force Link capabilities for me. And now moving on to the included figure, this does seem to be just a generic Canto Bight police officer. It does seem that what we're getting here is a pretty good representation of what we're going to see in the movie, at least based off the image of the character on the side of the box. Looking in closer on the head, as far as the face sculpting goes, it's not doing much for me. It's very just really generic face molded in there. I mean, all you're seeing is the nose and the mouth because the goggles and the helmet and everything's molded onto this as one piece. But the sculpting of the helmet does look good, and for the most part, the paint application's pretty good. You do get some silver letters or whatnot painted around the forehead of the helmet. You do get a little bit of black bleed through, though, from that white center line. Going into the main body, pretty generic here, too. Not much happening, just light blue and black lines running down the arms. The white painting on the gloves and top of the chest is looking pretty decent. No weathering applied in there or anything. Again, not that there probably needs to be. Belt area does have some good application to it. You get a little bit of what looks like yellow detailing in there, like he's got some sort of control pad or something. I don't know what that's for. And then a little bit of black and silver detailing on the other side of the belt with a little pouch on there. So the belt area is looking pretty decent. And then getting down the legs, the pant molding's looking somewhat all right. He's got a little white holster molded to the side of his right leg that you can slide that included blaster into. And then the shiny black boots. As far as that articulation goes, things are pretty standard. Of course, your head just swivels side to side, and you get a very slight up and down movement. Both arms do go up and down, no problems there. And then for the legs, they both come forward and both go all the way back. So decent range of motion there, but that's all you're going to get for the articulation. He does have one included accessory, and that is his blaster. Now, because of the way the hands are molded, and of course, no articulation there, he kind of holds the blaster sideways. So there's a little bit better look at it. Decent sculpting to it. Certainly looks like something we haven't seen before. Does have just a little bit of black painted on the back side of the handle. But otherwise it is pretty decent looking, and it does fit nicely into his hand. And as I mentioned, the figure does come with a holster, which is always nice, so you can slide that blaster in there and not lose it. And for the Force Link sounds on the figure.
What seems to be the problem? Perps, up ahead. Let me see your identification. Drop your weapons! You won't escape! Perps, up ahead.
And then sliding that action figure forward. Get you some gun blasts. So it seems like we get some decent lines of dialogue from that. So overall, it is a nice looking vehicle. Even if some of the elements on it are, to me, throwbacks or callbacks to previous vehicles that we've seen before. I do wish the figure had a little more articulation in it so that it could fit a little better and hold the handles in the cockpit. Not entirely certain that this set's worth $30 though, with the amount of plastic you're getting. The A-Wing was $30, and I just feel like with that, you're getting just a little bit more vehicle with it than you are here. Let me know what you think about the price of this. Is it worth $30 to you?
And so that wraps up this look at the Canto Bight Police Speeder. I'd love to know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.